What is up, YouTube? King Reaper 66 here, and today, you guys, I told you guys I was gonna make a video today, so I couldn't, find a game. So what better way to do it than watch some scary videos? So we're gonna try to find. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we're gonna get started. It's been a while since I recorded for you guys. Oh my gosh. I think I'm gonna do it. I already see the two videos I know it's been a while since you guys see me record, make a YouTube video. So I'm gonna react on some scary videos today. Well, tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, that joke look creepy. I don't even want to watch it, but we're gonna watch it later. Let's do this.
What could he be doing in the basement that he needs to hide from his daughter? Hi, Caleb, nice to meet you. What's your dad's job? Why is he working in the basement?
He said he was a surgeon, but I've never seen him work in the hospital, only in the basement. Last night, I got these marks.
Bite marks? Bite marks? Hey guys, before this video starts, please check out our...
Okay, so as you guys can see, this one is already gonna be a little cocky, but I'm gonna let you guys just know right now. I might pause it a little here and there, but I'm gonna let this video play on at the same time. So I'm trying not to do too much pausing and playing, but we're gonna go ahead and go through this video.
Instagrams, our usernames are right here, so please follow both of our accounts if you want to support us. Hello, Lux Army. Let's try to smash 100,000 likes to show how strong we are. So for this episode, we received a report from a 19-year-old girl named Kayla. Kayla lives with her dad, and she says that he works in the basement of their house. She also says weird things have been happening in her house at night, like screaming and scratching noises coming from the basement. She sent us this video for proof. Now, Kayla says that she hasn't gone in the basement since she took that video, and that her dad now locks the basement door. Currently, Kayla's dad is on a trip, and she's home alone. So today we're going to drive out to her house and try to find out what's going on. Let's go. Actually scared me. What could he be doing in the basement that he needs to hide from his daughter? Yeah, I know her dad deserves his privacy, but we need to find out what's going on in that basement. We don't know what we're walking into.
Exactly. Don't know what you're walking into, so why would you walk in there? I ain't gonna lie, you guys, I would do something like this too. Y'all gonna be waiting a while for that video.
Yeah, this is the place. All right. You ready for this? All right, I'm nervous. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Alright, let's go. Bro, is this the right place? Yeah. Is that her? Hi. Kayla, nice to meet you. Yeah, can we come in and talk? Okay, thank you. Okay, Kayla, thank you for letting us sit down with you.
Sure.
Okay, so can you explain to us more what's been going on?
I think there's something moving down there.
You think there's something in the basement?
Yeah, I hear things moving down there. And last night, I thought there was something in my room, under my bed.
What? I mean, not to be rude, but it seems like you sound a little bit paranoid. Why do you think that they've been coming into your room?
Last night, I got these marks, and I found them on my body.
What is it? What kind of mark is this? Are those bite marks or bite mark?
That's too long for a bite mark.
Don't jump to any conclusions yet. You know, that could just be a scratch from something on your bed.
One more thing. I saw something in my closet a couple nights ago, and I suddenly started feeling dizzy, and I swear I saw something crawling out of there.
What the hell?
Moving
Are
there.
you sure that this wasn't just some sort of dream?
I don't know. I've just been feeling kind of sick lately.
This is kind of freaky. I want to see what's going on in the basement.
Yeah, Caleb, what's your dad's job? Why is he working in the basement?
He said he was a surgeon, but I've never seen him work in the hospital, only in the basement.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know what that means. Alright, well, I don't worry about anything now. We're gonna be here all night. We're gonna set up cameras so we can watch what's going on. Just go to sleep like you normally do. We'll be waiting in the car, watching these cameras, seeing if we can find anything. Okay?
Okay.
Just like relax for tonight. Let's get to work.
All right, let's check out that basement.
Put this camera here to watch the basement door. So you want to try to put a camera in the basement?
Yeah. Open it.
Bro, it's locked from the inside.
It can't be, dude.
Bro, there's a passcode.
What the hell? All right, whatever. I guess we can't put a camera in the basement.
There, we got one there. It's fine. Okay, let's just put a camera in Kayla's room. Hi, Kayla. Can we put a camera in your room?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna go into the car. Just go to sleep like normal. Hopefully, we'll talk in the morning.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Bro, something's feeling really off about this place.
Feels fine. Just go in the car. Let's go.
All right.
Alright, so we're waiting in the car right now. We got the cameras set up, watching them on our phone. We got one watching the hallway, one watching the basement door, and we got one in Kayla's room.
Dude, that basement door is locked. I don't know what we're really expecting here.
Well, let's just wait and see. I mean, you can chill out, you can go to sleep. I'll wake you up if I see anything.
All right.
Oh. Let's see what comes out the basement. I knew that was gonna happen.
It's weird. You like hang out with animals more than...
I knew he was gonna fall asleep. Oh my gosh. And they didn't hear that. Yo. Oh my gosh. Wake up. Y'all don't hear that.
Yo, wake up. One of the cameras is on the ground.
Probably just fell.
How would it get on the ground?
I don't know, dude.
Check the other one. Check the other ones.
Dude, what is he doing?
What's coming out of her mouth?
We gotta go in, bro. Let's go. Let's go inside, okay? Let's go. Let's go.
Dude, we don't know what he's doing. This is freaking me out. Who's that kid? We gotta go. What's wrong with her? What's wrong with her? What's wrong with her, dude? Come on, let's go. We gotta get out here, dude. We gotta get out here. What the hell was that thing?
I don't know.
Let's go, dude. Drive. Drive.
Do you feel okay? Are you feeling okay?
We're gonna get you somewhere safe.
Okay, yeah, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here.
the fuck?
Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. If this video hits 100,000 likes, we'll release the next episode. The video is over now, so you don't need to keep watching.
Yo, that was tense. Oh my gosh. That was actually, yo. I swear, yo, if I was a scary person, that would be 10 out of 10 of a scare. Alright, guys. So, it was another one I had spotted that I wanted to see. Yep, here we go. Video number 2.
From life-altering curses to a man's final moments on Earth, these are the videos that you will regret watching for a long time after.
I like
Number
chills.
11. These friends are staying at a hotel when they see flashing lights coming from the bathroom mirror and hear rumbling noises on the other side. It sounds like a classic haunted hotel setting at first, but when they take the bathroom mirror and flip it around, they see 2 holes that look to me like someone was spying on them.
Scratches here and here that you can see directly through the mirror. Directly through.
But this situation gets way more intense than just a peephole. Much to their surprise and horror, there was also a rectangular hole cut into the wall leading directly into the next room over. Whoever cut this hole could literally climb through the wall anytime they wanted to, day or night. They could silently watch the group in the mirror to know when they were leaving, then climb through to mess with their stuff. Or worse still, they would know when you were about to go to bed and could enter while they were all asleep to do who knows what. I don't know how any of this ended, but I do know their lives could have been at risk if they didn't discover this in time. I think this situation is real because I don't think they would destroy a hotel wall just to make a video. Hopefully they called the police and caught whoever invaded their privacy. Number 10. Some people like their onion rings extra crispy, but not when the added crunch is because of this.
And I got some nice roaches in my onion rings here.
They are so small that they kind of almost blend in until you see the tiny shriveled up legs. But I mean, if you were eating this meal straight out of the bag and concentrating on the road, you might not even notice them at all. Again, this is one of those videos that I regret coming across because I realized how easily it could have happened to anyone watching.
I don't know about y'all, but if I seen a roach in my food, yeah, somebody's getting sued.
As awful as it sounds, I doubt this customer was the only person who got served a big batch of fried bugs that day. Number 9. This video is of what appears to be a parent filming their child looking into a mirror. Everything initially seems like a normal clip, but things soon take a dark turn as the child turns to look at the parent, but his reflection does not follow. If you look closely, the boy's eyes in the reflection are now pure black momentarily, followed by bizarre head movements until the reflection once again matches the boy. This either has to be paranormal or elaborate editing.
That's paranormal.
I'm leaning more towards the paranormal due to the sporadic head movements of the reflection because it appears too fluid to be edited.
There's
Either way,
no way you're
I'm pretty
editing that.
confident you will regret having to look into a mirror after seeing this video. Number 8. 2 friends return to a spot in the woods where they think someone could be living. Yesterday they were playing tag in this small clearing, and it looks like somebody was close to them the entire time. A trail of random trash leads them to a morbid discovery that they now truly regret seeing.
Dude, the hand is messed up, dude.
Nailed to the tree is an old doll with black and purple clothes and white hair over its face, which you never get to see. Still, the doll gives off such a strange feeling that they refuse to touch it with their bare hands, probing it with a stick instead. One of them hangs back, but the other needs to see what's under the long white hair. He pushes the filthy doll hair aside. The doll's face fills him with regret, and he is too stunned to worry about the camera, but his reaction really says it all.
Oh my God.
Later, he says that the doll's face was completely burnt. Aside from driving a nail through its middle, the doll's fingers look to have either been chopped or chewed off one by one as well. Whether this was a group of kids or a traveling wanderer, whoever rips apart dolls for fun is definitely not the type of person you want roaming around a minute from your backyard. And on top of that, I'm not even sure if this doll is safe to show, because it could very well have been cursed. Number 7. This station in New York is so rough that even the rodents will take advantage if they catch you sleeping. This guy is zoning out when the 2-pound rat leaps onto his knee and sniffs its way up his lap. I don't know if he has some gum or what, but it definitely takes an interest in his right pocket. It can't figure out how to get inside, so it leaps off his leg after a while and runs away. Having a rat crawl all over you while you sleep is gross enough, but then you also have to consider the possibility of contamination. If this rat is infected, all he has to do is touch somewhere on his pants, where its feet were, and then touch his nose or mouth to get it himself. Number 6. A YouTuber named Dark Corners is exploring the deep web when he comes across a video that he instantly regrets watching due to a possible curse. A nauseating noise forces him to take off his headphones, and even though it's in a different language, he still knows that he has witnessed something he was never meant to see. If you are able to read Japanese, please translate the text into English so we can all better understand. I just wanted to add that this long beep is exactly the same noise that hospital equipment makes when you flatline, which leads me to think that this text could be talking about ending your very life. Let me know if you think my suspicions are correct, or if I was way off with this assumption. Number 5, fair warning. This video is said to be cursed, so I am in no way responsible for what happens to you as a result of watching it. They are recording now.
Now, saying that makes me want to skip this part. Like, I don't even want to watch it now.
Nothing in particular when a horrifying monstrosity rushes out of the pitch black backyard and straight towards the camera. I hope this video isn't real, but if it is, then it doesn't look like the person had much of a chance. Hopefully you won't befall the same fate for watching. Number 4. You are probably asking yourself what could possibly be scary about ice. Well, it's not so much about ice itself, but rather what's growing around the area that forms the cubes and pushes them out. A thick layer of yellow filth has taken over this restaurant ice machine, which is somehow still in service and making ice for customers. I'm not even sure what this specific part of the machine is used for, but I know I regret watching it. The yellow substance has crusted into black mold along the corners. Again, I honestly can't believe this video was recorded in a restaurant that was still open. And that's just what this ice machine looks like on the outside. What's growing inside is even worse. Take a look at this and tell me if you would want this floating anywhere near your cold drink. You'd think the cubes would be absolutely disgusting and easy to spot, but look at this ice. You'd never realize there was much of a problem or where it really came from. Number 3.
I love waking up now on Saturdays and being able to enjoy my family. We never have to.
This video of the Watts family goes from heartwarming to horrifying. When you hear the terrible backstory, Shannon Watts talks about how happy she is while her husband Chris sits on the other side of the room, his back turned. Chris doesn't say hello or even move during this part. His mannerisms are very stiff and distant. He doesn't even seem to be looking at his kids.
Bella, say hi. Bella, say hi.
Sometime after this video was taken, Shannon and Chris got into a giant argument and he took her life. He gathered both of his daughters and took them, along with his wife's body, to his place of work while he buried his wife while they watched. Going back to the happy home video and listening to his children cry for their dad is sickening. You want to somehow save them, but there's nothing that you or anyone else can do.
And we're excited. Bella, come here for a second, baby.
Sadly, after they were done witnessing the burial of their mother, Chris took their lives next. For this, he was sentenced to life behind bars without parole. Number 2, this man was a regular member of the community who one day simply snapped. You would never suspect that the man uttering these words is the same man who is a job counselor for younger teens. He appears to have no remorse and barely even cares. What he says in this video is a lie. He has not taken any lives yet, but he is about to. He drives up to an elderly man who is minding his own business. The calmness in his voice does not match what he is about to do next. He carries through with his promise and takes his life in broad daylight. Later, authorities find him, and he ends his own life as soon as they pull him over. He's gone now, but the steady and even tone of his voice while committing these acts is something I will never forget. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills, and if you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. I recently released the number 15 mixtape, but I don't think you should follow these instructions to check it out. It's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happier person, so if you're generous enough to hit the subscribe button and the bell beside it, then thank you. Also, don't forget I upload a new video here on YouTube every Thursday and Saturday. Number 1. This next video is very difficult to watch, but important to see. Courtney has recently lost his brother Cody, and he feels he can no longer deal with the situation on his own. On top of that, he also recently broke up with his girlfriend after a serious relationship. His 8.5-minute video starts off pretty normal, and it sounds like he is just letting off some steam, until you realize that these are the last words of a man who decided to take his own life. Pay attention to what he says, because if you hear anyone else say something like this around you, then maybe you can get them help. He says that he doesn't want to feel anything anymore, which is a major red flag.
I don't want to feel like this anymore.
If you know anyone who strongly and overwhelmingly feels that their life has no purpose or direction for long periods of time without changing their minds,
I'm not doing anything with my life.
it could be another sign. Watching him say goodbye to his family makes this video incredibly saddening, but at the same time, his family posted this online in hopes that it will save someone else's child from saying these terrible words.
Mom, I just want to tell you I love you. Thanks for always being my best friend.
If someone you care about is feeling this way, don't wait to talk to them about it and get them help. Ask them questions and let them know that they are not alone. It could make all the difference. And if you are feeling the same way as Blake did, then please know there is help available. I suggest befrienders.org because they are a non-profit who offer worldwide resources. These videos are scary enough to make even the bravest person panic.
Yeah, I don't know about panic. Chills. Okay, you guys. That was video number 2. I'm gonna do one more video for you guys, and I guess that's it. True horror story animation. Let's check it out. Let's hope this is scary.
First, a little background information. I worked the night shift at a local gas station when I was 19. I was the only employee in the store, as usual. On Christmas Eve, I had to work the overnight, 10 p.m. into 6 a.m. into Christmas Day. It was a normal night. No customers, and my cleaning was almost finished. I had just got done eating and decided to go out for a smoke when I hear someone walking towards the store in the distance. Now, this was nothing out of the ordinary until the person gets to the pumps and I can actually see them. It was a male, about 5'9" and somewhat thin. He was wearing a dark hoodie, jeans, and was carrying a gift bag. As he got closer, though, I noticed that he was bleeding from his forehead. As he approached me, I asked if he was okay and if he needed any help. I noticed that the bag was empty, which should have been my first red flag. The guy looked me in the eyes, looking dead inside, and said, "You want to help? Then don't call the fucking cops." I agreed and told him that there was a first aid kit inside and that I'd be happy to help him with his wound. Crazy, I know, but I was just trying to be nice to him since he was someone who could be a threat to me. We went inside the store and I got the first aid kit. As I pulled out the stuff for him to clean himself up with, he said he needed to use the restroom and once again told me not to call the cops. I told myself that if he wasn't out of the bathroom within a reasonable amount of time, I was going to call the police. He didn't come out, so I went outside and called. The dispatcher told me to stay out of the store and find somewhere safe to be until the officers arrived. I stood at the side of the store where he wouldn't be able to see me, but I could see if he came out of the bathroom. He never came out. The police arrived and asked where he was. I pointed and they went in. Just as they got to the door, he opened it and tried to lunge at one of the officers. They tackled him, threw a knife that he was holding, and promptly arrested him. As they were walking him out of the store, he told me that I was lucky that the police got there when they did, and that he'd see me again soon. I was a little shook by that. One of the officers came to take my statement after the other took the guy away. I told the officer what had all happened, and then I asked something I really wish I didn't know the answer to. What was he doing in the bathroom? The officer told me that it was a good thing that I called when I did, because the guy had shot up some heroin in the bathroom that was going to come out with a knife, stab me, and run with what money was in the register. That's what the bag was for. This guy had a lot of problems and a lot of anger inside of him. The reason he was so angry was also the reason his head was bleeding. He owed his dealer money and got beat because of it. His solution to the problem was robbing the store. The officer told me if I didn't call when I did, I'd either be critically wounded or dead because he wasn't going to allow me to stand between him and that money. I hope I never see that crazy drug addict who wanted to kill me to free himself of debt again.
Not bad, not bad.
One time I went to the bar with one of my friends.
I just bought a bus down, can't wait to hold it up. All these personal stay down, I keep on throwing up.
I had just turned 21, so I haven't been to many bars up to that point. My friend was drinking on the way to the bar, so he was already pretty drunk when we got there. When I sat at the bar, a cute girl came and talked to me and my friend. She said her name was Candace, and I noticed she had really, really bright red hair. I assumed she dyed it. I mean, it was pretty, but unnatural. Anyways, the girl was flirting with me and my friend. She could tell my friend was already very drunk. To be honest, I played along like I was drunk already too, since it seemed to be working for my friend. I didn't know if she was just trying to get free drinks, so I told her we didn't have much money. She then offered to buy us drinks. She kept buying us drinks, and I started to get confused as to who she liked between me and my friend. My friend went to the bathroom. Before he came back, he was kicked out by the bouncers. He was way too drunk. Candace and I went outside with him. She kept telling him to go home with her. He was so out of it he could barely answer her. I told her he was too drunk and that I couldn't let him go anywhere. I didn't want him to wake up hungover in some random house with no car and no idea what happened. Candace kept pushing it, saying that she would take good care of him, but I told her no because I had to stay with him. I was more sober than him and he was my responsibility. I told her the only way he was going anywhere was if I tagged along. I assumed she thought I was jealous or cock-blocking, but my friend could barely stand and lost interest in Candace already at that point. She immediately started flirting with me and offered to get my friend a taxi to drive home. and said we could go to her place alone. At this point, I had a few drinks and I was already buzzed, so I agreed. We took my friend to the taxi and walked to her car. I slightly stumbled on the way to her car.
Wow, you're pretty drunk, huh?
She said, smiling as she held onto my arm. Yeah, I said. I don't know why, but I just felt slightly shy and anxious. Everything was just happening too easy for me, so I felt uneasy. We got in her car and we drove down the street.
Want to stop at the liquor store and get somewhere to drink? I'll buy it, so don't worry about paying.
She offered. I didn't want to drink any more than I already did. I mean, I was already buzzed and wanted to be able to carry myself throughout the rest of the night. Sometimes I made myself look stupid when I'm drunk, so I didn't want to ruin anything with Candace more than I already did earlier with telling her my friend was too drunk. I told her I was already drunk enough, but she insisted. I didn't want to seem lame, so I told her to give me a pint of liquor with some apple juice to chase it. She went into the store and came out with a lot more than just a pint. I assumed she wanted to drink more also, and that's why she got a fifth instead of a pint. On the car ride, we passed the bottle back and forth, but she took tiny sips. I tried to take tiny sips, but she kept passing me the bottle and telling me to drink. I somehow managed to drink all of my apple juice, and I pretended to drink the bottle by spitting the liquor into the apple juice bottle. I tossed the apple juice bottle full of liquor out the window before she even saw it. I didn't want her to know that I was acting drunker than I was. I mean, she actually believed I was sloppy drunk when I was simply buzzed. I took a couple more sips of liquor and then finished the bottle. Throughout the car ride, I called her the wrong name a couple of times to get a reaction out of her. She didn't react to it. She just kept letting me call her Carla without correcting me. For some reason, I thought maybe she lied to me about her name initially. We drove up to her house, and I pretended to trip and stumble into her front door. She helped me walk inside by holding me up. She opened her front door, which was unlocked, and we walked into her house. She closed her front door and then she locked it. I thought that was strange, but assumed she didn't want anyone walking in on us. I told her that I had to use the bathroom. I walked into her bathroom, locked the door, and looked in the mirror. I just felt strange. I felt like something was off. I felt myself becoming more drunk from finishing the bottle earlier. I turned on the sink to make noise and made myself puke up the liquor I drank. I flushed, went to the sink, and started drinking the tap water out of my hands to sober up. I just didn't want to be drunk, but I still wanted to hook up with Candace, so I pretended to be drunk. I turned off the sink and I could hear her talking to someone.
He's drunk as hell. He can barely stand up. You do it.
Who was she talking to and do what? I walked out of the bathroom and into the living room. The moment I stepped into the living room, I saw her walking into another room. All I could see was the back of her head, that strange, very bright red hair go into another room. I didn't see her face or anything. I just saw her kind of walk fast into the room. The living room was pretty dark. Hey, where you going? I slurred like I was drunk. She walked back into the dark living room and up to me.
Let's go in my room,
she said. I looked at her bright red hair and then into her eyes. They were different. Her whole face was different. It was another girl with the same hair, and that's when I realized it was another girl with the same wig on. It was a wig the whole time. She changed it with the girl from earlier for whatever reason. My heart felt like it stopped, but I tried to look like I had no idea it was a different girl. I kind of smiled at her and told her I needed to use the bathroom one more time and told her sorry I was so drunk. She said,
It's fine, just hurry up in there.
I went into the bathroom and locked the door. I heard her whisper something to someone again. This time I think I heard a male voice whisper back. I honestly didn't concentrate on listening to exactly what she said, but something sketchy was going on, and I had to get out of that house. I opened the bathroom window and jumped straight out of it and ran faster than I ever have in my entire life. I didn't look behind myself or anything. I just ran straight through the backyard, jumped the fence, ran through someone else's backyard, hit a road, and ran towards the main road. I kept running down the main road until I saw a Star CVS. I ran into the CVS and stood straight at the front of the store in front of the camera. I called a taxi and went home. I tried to think of what happened that night. What was she or they planning that night? Why did she tell me a fake name? Why was she trying to get my friend and I so drunk? I thought maybe a robbery, but she kept spending money on us. She kept buying us drinks and even paid for my friend's taxi cab. And mostly, why did she wear a wig that she gave to another girl to wear? Who was she talking to? What did it mean? And what was in that room they tried to lure me into? The next day after this incident, I went back to the house with a couple of friends to see just what was going on. Nobody was there. No cars, no people, nothing. Just an empty house. I ended up finding out that the house was a summer rental. And whoever those people were, they broke into the house and used it for only that night and never came back. Anyways, that's my story.
And that is the end of this video. Alright, you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you liked it, please rate me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new, and comment on any other videos you would like me to react to, or any other mobile games. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching this video, you guys. This is King Reaper 66, and I am out. Peace.